I hope somebody did. If you haven't, you still got a chance. You still got a chance by the end of the day. Hallelujah. It's our new month, and I want to share on the message on our series called The Power of Decision. The Power of Decision. So I'll try to be quick today. The Power of Decision. First, I want to establish these foundations for all of us so that we can know the foundations before we get to this message about God. God is supreme, meaning He will do anything that He wants to, however He wants to, whenever He wants to. God is omnipotent, meaning He's all powerful. God is omniscient, meaning He knows all things. God is omnipresent, meaning He's everywhere at the same time. But because God is all these names that we can think of, He's also a God that holds the whole universe and everything that is in it by the power of His word. He is never helpless. He's never frustrated. He's never at loss about anything. God is God by Himself. He need no man to be God. He was there in the beginning, and He will also be in the end. And He's everywhere at the same time. That means that God is the all supreme, or the ultimate, or the absolute authority in life to those things that are living and non-living, breathing or non-breathing. God is at the center of it all, meaning He maintains everything. And because God is absolute in authority and power, He governs the universe, the inhabitants, the people that are in there, and the creation and the things that are moving. So He governs them. The trees, the plants, the sea, the water. God has a control over all of them. But yet, God, who is all of this, decided to give man the authority to rule the earth. So that means that as big as God is, He still trusts men to rule over the earth, over everything that is in the earth. He gave the responsibility to man, not to Himself, but to man. How do we know this? Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. It says, let them have dominion. Let them have dominion upon the surface of the earth. That means everything that is on earth here happens because man is in charge, and God cannot interfere in the affairs of the earth without man. Meaning God cannot do anything without man on this earth. So in context, what does it mean? This is the scary part. That yet God decided to give human beings the right to participate in achieving anything in life. God decided that every human being must play a role in achieving the things that He wants them to do on this earth. And God cannot interfere in the affairs of that decision. Meaning God cannot bring your life and your destiny without your participation. Meaning every blessing that you need in life will never come by God alone. It has to take your responsibility. It has to take your roles. Can we read in Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19? So get your pen. If you like writing, please write. I encourage you. Especially if you're one of those who fall asleep during preaching, get a pen and get a thing and start writing, because it will help you. It will keep you awake, because then your mind is constantly thinking and doing things. So, Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19. To me, this verse plays a big role in what we need to discuss today. We good to go? All right. This is God speaking, okay? I want you to hear the voice of God. This is God speaking in verse 19. He said, I call heaven and earth as a witness today against you, that I have set before you life and death. So who have set the life and death? God. So God set life and death before you. But then, because He set it before you, He has no right to decide for you only. Look what it says. That I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life. Come on, say, I choose. You see, there has to be your choice. If you don't make a choice, the blessing and the blessing will not come. If you don't make the choice, death will come. If you don't make the choice, cursing will come. So either way, it's a choice you're making. If you don't choose life, you choose death. If you don't choose blessing, you choose cursing. So the choice is yours. That both of you and your descendants might live. Now that's important. It means that your decision just does not just affect you, it affects the people around you, the people in you, and the people after you. So every decision that you make in life is not just for you alone. It also affects the people around you. Let me put it in this way. If you have in the family, everyone is doing something successful in life. But then one of the sons or daughters decides to become a robber or become a thief or become a murderer. And then all of a sudden, do you think that will not affect everybody around them? The decision is for him, right? He decided to do his own thing. But the reputation is affecting what? The family. Oh, your brother is that thief. Your brother is that. Oh, yeah. So now it's affecting you, isn't it? So you can see our decision does not just affect us. It affects people around us, in us, and there is after us. So we have to know decisions are important. Here, God decides that He will choose life for you to make it easy for you to choose life by yourself. So it's your role as a human being. If you want to see the blessing of God in your life, it's going to take your decision. If you want to see the life that God has designed for you, it's going to take your decision. You will never achieve anything in life without your decision. God will never come to you, or God will not bring you what you need without your role. And that's scary. That is scary. So I want us to think about it like this. If you don't understand the role you have to play in making a decision, you will be disappointed in life. You'll be dejected in life. And in fact, you'll be unsuccessful in life. But the choice is yours. Nobody else. Only you. There was a story I heard from a pastor about two young guys that were in the same family. Their father was the poorest in their state during that time. And then, after a couple of years, the two sons, one of them became a billionaire. And the other one was in the street begging. And then they did an interview after a couple of years to try to investigate what's the cause of the poverty on the guy who was on the street, and then the cause of the guy who became a millionaire. They did an interview. And when they did an interview, if you can imagine the answer to both of them. So the poor man said, because of my dad, I am poor. The homeless man said, because of my dad, I am poor. And the guy that became a millionaire, he said, because of my dad, I became a millionaire. So what's the problem there? Come on, what's the problem there? Perspective and decision. So one person did something by the poverty of their dad. Another person used the opportunity to say, my poverty of my dad will become my blessing in life. So I will follow the trend of my dad. So it's your decision that drives you. You can come from the same family. One person is more blessing than the other because of decision. So we have to understand that God wants us to make decision. And so in this series, I want you to really open up your mind that you can be able to make decisions so you can have a glorious life, that you can have a perfect life, that you can have the life that you want before time began, the life that you want, you've been seeing people dream about. You can have it, but it takes your decision. Your dad is not going to make that decision. God is not going to make that decision for you. Your pastor is not going to make that decision for you. You and I are alone are responsible of our decisions. You're responsible. So, let's understand the power of decisions. And then from there, we will understand stories in the Bible of few people. Okay? If you're writing, I would like you to write. The power of decision. How important is the power of decision? Number one, decision decide destiny. Your destiny is decided by your decisions. Your decision leads you towards your destiny. So if you do not make decision, you will not get to your destiny. So that's how powerful a decision is. It leads you to a destiny. It leads you towards the thing that you want the most. So you have to understand, if I don't decide, the devil will decide. If I don't decide, the environment will decide. If I don't decide, what is designed in life will decide for me. So you have to know. Number two, decision leads to a glorious life. What does that mean? It means you live a life that you intended or that you dreamed about. So decision leads to a glorious life. It leads to a purposeful life. So if you want to have meaning in life, some of us are sick of going to job, right? Some of us, we hate waking up in the morning, going to 7 to 9 or 9 to 5 job. We get tired of that. And you feel like, what is my purpose? If you want to know, decision will lead you to a life that is purposeful. So you will not say, people get tired. Why do I wake up this morning to go to work and all of this stuff? Because you have not made decision that will give you a purposeful life. If you hate your job, change. If you hate your career, change. You have the decision. People who complain about going to work, they have a problem. They have not found their purpose. Because if you found your purpose, you will not complain about the thing that you're going to do every day. That means your decision is not right. The job you're in right now, you have made is not right. So you need to change. You should be glad you woke up in the morning because you're going to contribute to society by your work. That means if you have not done it, you're in a wrong job. You have not made the right decision yet. Many years ago, I told myself and people and friends I was working in a factory. I tell them, no, I hate coming here. But I'm coming here to sponsor my destiny. I'm only coming to sponsor my destiny by coming to this factory. But there was a purpose in me. And I'm right now still working in that purpose. And so I made a decision. I told them that after 5 years, I'm leaving this job and I'm going to another. I'm getting towards my destiny. I made a decision and I went there. So it takes decision. Number 3. I remember a story, I think it was Sunday, and Mariam were in the car. And after evangelism, Mariam was saying or Sunday was saying, he wants to change environment. He said he's tired of doing the same thing. I said, you have not found your purpose yet. Because changing environment does not fulfill destiny. What fulfills destiny is knowing what you really want to do in life. So regardless of the environment, you still are fulfilling what? Destiny. So changing location does not mean you'll find your purpose. Changing your friend does not mean you find your purpose. It's actually finding that thing within you by your decision. Number 3, decision paved the way for a strong foundation. So if you make a decision, your foundation can become strong. Meaning that you give urge to a search for the truth that brings stability. So when you decide, you pave the way for a strong foundation by searching after truth that brings stability to your life. So every decision leads you to a stronger foundation. But it's going to take a search that gets you to make a stability in your life. The reason why we're not strong in life and our foundations are constantly shaking because we have not made the conscious decision to search for the truth that brings our foundation right to our life. Number 4, decision forces action. If you have not made a decision, you cannot see action coming. But it is when you have a decision that you see action coming. You see, many people are lazy is because they have not made a decision, because that's why they're not action happening in their life. If you have a decision, it forces you to act. It really forces you to act. It forces you to be active. You're not lazy in the decision that you have made. It causes you to run after the plans that you have made to get the destiny that you want. It also causes you to run after your goals and dreams. When you make a decision, it forces you to get in action. People say, I made a decision, but they're still in bed. They're not moving anywhere. Did you really make a decision? You partially make a decision. In your dreams, you made a decision. But in your subconscious, you did not make a decision because it did not force what? An action. Action only happens when there is a concrete decision made. Many of us are not making concrete decisions in life. That's why we don't have a strong action. You see, when you're not consistent in life in the things that you do, is because you don't have a concrete decision. So you're wavered by whatever storms may come. But when you make a conscious decision, it forces strong action. Action. You get up. You go to work. You get up. You pray. You get up, you help. You get up and do things. You get up and plan. You get up and put things down. You don't just talk about it. You begin to write about it, and you begin to act about it. You finish a degree. You don't just sit there and say, God bless me with a job. No, you go searching for it now. You go applying for it now. You start getting connected to people. There is an action that comes when you make a decision. Come on, tell your brother, tap your brother and say, make decision. Come on, make decision. Make decision. Make decision. Come on. Some of us need a wake-up call in our life. We need to make a decision. Make a decision. You can't be sleeping from 5 to 10 o'clock and then you're expecting your life to be glorious. No, you gotta, if you want an amazing life, you can. You see, I remember Steve Harvey. Yeah, is this his name? Steve Harvey. Yeah. Just trying to go there. I don't watch him much, but one time I heard something that he said, and it was so powerful. He made a video, and he said in that video that there's some of us, they said we want to become millionaires, but we are sleeping from 7 a.m. until the next 7 a.m. How is that possible? If you really want to be honest with you, it's possible to sleep like that. But guess what? Time is going, but your life is not moving. And so what happened was that the guy said that, and some people were unhappy. He said the only way, if you want to strive, all billionaires sleep for 4 to 5 hours. Why? Because they're focusing on their decision-making, planning, strategic things that they're doing. But those who are lazy sleep 10 hours plus. But those who have a glorious life, they sleep less. Because they have so much to do. There's no time. One time I was telling God, God, please add another 2 hours to my day, because sometimes I feel like I'm running out of hours. I sleep 4 to 5 hours. Lucky I will get 6 hours or 7 hours once in a while. Why do I say this? I work full time. I pastor full time in a way. While I'm at work, I'm counseling people. While I'm at work, I'm planning what's happening at church. When I'm working, I'm praying for somebody. Maybe there's a demon in their life, some problem in their life. I'm constantly, you know what I mean? Like I'm constantly doing these things. And then when I get home, I need to pray. I need to read. I need to connect. By the time I finish, it's midnight. Sometimes Patrick say, what time are you sleeping? I say midnight. What time do you have to wake up? 5. Wow, you really? I said, yes, that's my life. You see, when you have a purpose, time becomes short. But when you don't have a purpose, you have so much time. And you feel like, when is time going? You're checking your clock all the time. So be strong in your decisions so you can have enough time to do the things that you want. Look, I'm giving you some indicators of life. If you're here, you sleep too much and you're always checking what's the time, there's something wrong with your life. You're not making it anywhere. Look, I'm being harsh, but I'm pushing you. Okay, I'm being harsh, but I'm trying to help you. So, let's go back to our last point of the power of decision. Decision demands diligence, meaning hard work. Decision demands hard work. No glorious life or destiny or dreams comes by easy. It never comes by easy. I'm telling you, it never comes by. You have to sweat. There has to be a lot of sweat. A lot of tears too. A lot of crying, a lot of complaining. But you keep on doing it over and over, over and over. Why? Because your life needs it. It really does. So decision demands diligence. It requires the ability to make strategic action to achieve the desired outcome. So this diligence, it's about making a strategy. You see, when you want to move anywhere in life, there has to be a strategy. But when you don't have a strategy, you cannot take action. Action is only waiting for a strategy. If there is no plan or strategic plan, you cannot implement action. Decision produce these things in us, the ability to be hard workers. You know, there's a story in the Bible that the Bible says a lazy man should not eat. Wow. Wow. Some of us, sometimes, I hope, my prayer is that one day my mothers and my father should have listened to this message and put that to most of the kids at home. You think about it. All of us boys and girls, when we were growing up, when moms tell us go to work and we didn't want to work, what was happening? We were getting food. Imagine my mom said, you don't work. You're not going to McDonald's anymore. So there's no food for you because the Bible says so. Because God says so. So you as a kid suffer here until you get work. Imagine that. That's really what the Bible is saying. That a lazy person cannot eat. Meaning if you want to eat in life, it's based on you being productive. You got to be productive. And I'm sure that you guys know Australian families. By the age of 11 or 12 years old, what did they tell you to do? Go to... And then on top of it, they tell you something to do, right? They say you need to start paying some rent, some bills. What are they teaching you? Responsibility. About making decisions. But as African, you stay there until you're 40 years old. It's okay. We need to break out of this mentality. Decision demands diligence. Hard work. Hard work. It's not for lazy people. Let me be quick. All right, before I share three examples or one example today, I want to share to you that before you can make a decision, there is a condition that you must be in. Or let me put it this way, if you're writing. Your condition does not determine your outcome, rather your decision backed up and motivated by action does. Say it again. Your decision does not determine your outcome. Rather, your decision backed up and motivated by action does. That means, whatever condition you're in right now, this does not determine your outcome. Right now, you may be broke. That does not determine your outcome. You may be rejected. That does not determine your outcome. You may not have a future right now at the moment. That does not determine your outcome. Your condition is just, it's waiting for an action of decision that is backed up with an action. So right now, you're probably sleeping in a garage. That's okay. I've slept in a garage too before, but now I own a house. So sometimes you don't define your condition by where you're going. You may be living in one sharing room with somebody right now. That's okay. Right now you're borrowing, maybe you're carpooling with someone, that's okay. Right now you may be borrowing money on fortnightly or weekly from somebody, that's okay. That does not determine your condition. You're still somebody to be. You have still greatness in you. You have still a future within you. You have still a plan within you. You just need to now make a decision in the midst of your condition, but backed up with action that will produce the outcome that you want. You may be renting right now, but in you want to own a house. That's okay. Rent good. Be a good tenant. Rent good. Pay on time. Everything. Do it on time, because one day you'll own a house. You got to know these things. Your condition does not determine your outcome or your future. Again, your condition is an indicator of your decisions. So whatever condition you may be in right now, it's just an indicator. It's telling you the strength of your decisions. Right now, you may be wearing dirty clothes. To me, it's indicating that you have some sort of, the strength of your decisions are not as strong. Does that make sense? So your condition right now is because the strength, you have not made concrete decisions. You might have made some bad decisions. So your condition in life is just an indicator. It just indicates to you, hey, you have not made a strong decision, about to make better decisions right now. Change your level. Change your path. Change whatever. It's an indicator. Number 3, your condition reveals the consequences of your decisions. So every condition that we see somebody is because of the decision they have made. It's a consequence. We're seeing somebody broke is because they chose not to put some action, not to go and study, not to go and do something in life. So it's an indicator. It reveals their outcome. It reveals your outcome. So let's start some stories in the Bible to help us, so we can know. 2 Kings chapter 7 verse 3 to 8. This is one of my favorite stories. So I'm sharing to you some favorite stories that can help you about understanding the power of decision. These guys made some powerful decisions. It's called the 4 lepers men. Let's read together. It says, now there were 4 leprous men at the entrance of the gate. Context, meaning the background. The background of the story, there was famine happening in Samaria. There was a big famine in Israel happening. And then this story comes into play. It says, now there was 4 leprous men at the entrance of the gates. And they said to one another, why are we sitting here until we die? If we say we will enter the city, the famine is in the city, and we shall die there. And if we sit here, we die also. Now therefore come, let us surrender to the army of the Assyrian. If they keep us alive, we shall live. And if they kill us, we shall only die. I like it, right? It's a good story. Verse 5. It says, they arose at twilight to go to the camp of the Syrian. And when they had come to the outskirts of the Syrian camp, to their surprise, no one was there. Verse 6. For the Lord had caused the army of the Assyrian to hear the noise of chariots and the noise of horses, the noise of a great army. So they said to one another, look, the king of Israel has hired against us the kings of the Hittites and the kings of the Egyptians to attack us. Verse 7. Therefore, they arose and fled at twilight and left the camp intact, their tents and their horses and their donkeys, and they fled for their lives. Verse 8. And when these lepers came to the outskirts of the camp, they went into one tent and ate and drank and carried from it silver and gold and clothing and went and hid them. Then they came back and entered another tent and carried some from there also and went and hid it. The story was, there was 4 lepers. There was famine in Samaria. And in those days, if you're a leper, you're not meant to mingle with people. You can only stay far away from the town or the city. So they were outside the city, somewhere outside there. And then what happened, there was a Syrian army that was not too far from the camp or from the city of Israel. The reason why they came there, they are waiting one day they will go and attack the nations of Israel. But these Assyrians these leprous men were here. They said there's famine going on. If we go to the city, there's famine in the city, we will die. So maybe we should also go to the camp of the Assyrian. If we go there, maybe they will kill us, maybe they will keep us alive. So either way, death is going to happen. So you know what? Let's take a risk. Let's just take a risk and go to these bad guys here and see if they will spare our life or not. But then the Bible says, when they decided not to go to the armies of the Assyrian, they found nobody was there. The only thing that was there was gold, silver, and food. Plenty of food. What were they suffering from before? Famine. They needed food. So when they came looking for food, they found the food that they want. But this army heard somehow something happened. They heard that there was a big army coming, 3 of them coming. They ran, they chickened out for their life. They decided to run. And when they ran, they left everything. And guess what the lepers are saying? Here we go. We found our appetite. Let's go bon appetit now. Let's enjoy it, everything we want. The Bible says in fact, they went to another place and found it empty again. And they carried all the food with them. And they ate and they hid it. Can you see there? These guys decided that my famine, my poverty, my struggle cannot determine my condition. But I need to do something about it. They took a risk and went to the army's camp. So you have to understand, if you don't make bold decisions in your life, you'll never get to your destiny. These guys made a bold decision. They knew there was famine. Maybe you have a famine in your life right now. Maybe you're broke. That's okay. You have a famine. Right now you're rejected. That's okay. You're in a famine. But guess what? You got to take a risk. Take risks by your decisions. Many people don't want to take risks. But you can never get to your destiny if you don't take risks by making a decision. Take a risk. Big, bold risk. It's only those who have strong decision get to your destiny. These guys made a decision. They didn't stay there and say, my condition we will die. They said, no, let's take a risk. So their state was not determined by their condition. They made an outcome happen. God only acts. This is where I want you to understand. God only acts when you make a decision. God acted for these guys and brought deliverance for them because they made a decision to go. So every time you want to do something, if you don't make a decision to go or search for the truth or search for the things that you want by your decision, you will never get the hand of God in your life. God will not come to you if you don't make a decision. God will not back up your dreams if you don't make a decision. God will not bring your dreams to pass if you don't make up a decision. God will not bring the things that you need if you don't make up a decision. These guys made up a decision. You can make up a decision as well. When you make up a decision, you see the hand of God. God only acts as you move, as you make a decision. God only does that. That means the abundance that you're looking for, the money that you're looking for, the success that you're looking for, the husband and the wife that you're looking for, the goal that you're looking for, the house that you're looking for, it's only waiting for a decision so that God can back it up. Today, I want to encourage you. Make a bold decision. Last one, and then we'll conclude. Let's go to the prodigal son. Luke chapter 15, verse 11. No, leave that for next week. Let's jump to 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 9 to 10. 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 9 to 10. We're going to look at Jabez. Because of time. Look at this story. It's a very quick story in the Bible there. Very unique. It's talking about genealogy, and then all of a sudden talks about this guy called Jabez. His name is already unique. The meaning of Jabez, that he will cause pain. The word Jabez, meaning he will cause pain. Let's read together. It says, now Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. And his mother called his name Jabez, saying, because I bore him in pain. Look, I'm telling you, the power of name. If you have a name that is bad, that name will follow you. That name will follow you. You got to change your name. This guy's name was following his life. God also changed his name, so you can change your name if you want to. This guy was named Pain. He will cause pain. And he was honorable. That means he had a status in life. That means he was somebody of importance. But because of the name, that name was killing his status in life. That name was destroying the reputation that he had. He said he was a more honorable man. Like some of us here, you have a good status, you have a good job, but because of the name that is upon you, it's beginning to bring something, it's haunting you down. And what did he do? He did not just sit there and said, let my name change my destiny. He said, no, I'm going to change my destiny. I'm going to change my destiny. No matter what you're going through in life, you can change your destiny. You can change your story. You can change the outcome of your pain. This guy was living in pain. So if you are here, you're living in pain, you can change the outcome of your pain if you make only decision today. Don't just watch your pain. Your pain is a message that can get you to your destiny, but it's going to take your decision. What did he do? Verse 10. It says, and Jabez called on the God of Israel, saying, oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain. You see, his life was causing pain to people, to society. Some of us are here, our names or our life is causing pain to society. We're adding more problem to society. But you can change that. You can change that. You can be a blessing to society. Some of you here, you have gone through many problems in life. And now the problems that you have done in life is adding more problem to your family, to your friends, to your colleagues because of what you have done. But the story says here that you can change that. You and I can change that. You can change. Maybe you are known for whatever. You know, you're doing things in the secret for whatever. But you can change it today. They may know you are sister so, brother so, but you can change that. What did Jabez say? Jabez said, God, I'm tired of this name. I'm tired of this name. And the Bible says he prayed. He prayed. And when he prayed, verse 10 says, so God granted him what he requested. You can change your story today by your decision. He prayed. Don't watch over your life. Pray. Don't watch over your circumstance. Make a decision. And as you make a decision, God's hand will come upon your life and you'll see him working mighty things for you. Let me recap and we'll finish for today. Decision decides destiny. Decision forces action. Decision demands diligence. Decision causes us to be strategic in life. And decision can change the outcome of our condition. Our condition may be whatever, but our decision can change that to become something of glorious. So if you're here today, make a decision. Let's all stand up together. Thank you. I want us to pray quickly.